Hey, good morning, fam. Taylor, local trucker here, man. Working my first stop. As y'all see, I'm actually working out the side door. I know I talk about how on my route, man, I go to this hospital every morning first, but they've added this first stop that I have to my Monday route. And even then, I usually still go to the hospital, work it first, and then come out to this stop and then run it out the back of the trailer. But today, man, that's the last bit of cooler right here that's going to this stop. But I came here because y'all see this bad boy right here? It's like 103, 107 pieces on this cooler pallet that goes to my hospital. It might just fall when I take these last bit of cooler items off here, but I plan to down stack most of it, man, so I can avoid it tipping over. So I came here first so I could utilize this pallet once it got empty. So y'all stay tuned, man. I'll catch up with y'all in a little bit. Keep it locked. What's up, fam? What's up, fam? What's up, fam? Y'all, it's been a long day. But truth be told, I just ain't really been in it today, man. I think I'm just mentally drained a little bit. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We had stopped 7 to 8, y'all. Last freezer pallet of the day. All that is 8. And we got 7 on the bottom. We got a little work to do. So I'm gonna time lapse this, break this pallet down. We're gonna roll through this stop, man, and then go get 8 done. Get back to the yard, and either on the way there, or we're gonna do some truck talk, or maybe some on the ride home talk. But either way, man, I wanna talk to y'all about something a little bit later on, man. Just something that's been on my mind about job hopping in the trucking industry. So let's get this knocked out and get on down the road. Y'all stay tuned. What's up, fam? You already know what time it is. You see me in the whip with the seatbelt on. We on the way to the house, man. First day of the week. Day 1. It's over. But I'm gonna just jump right into it, man, because I don't like to take too much of y'all time. So I got a question. And maybe, you drivers can help me out. Or you guys that are in CDL school, if you're watching the content. Is job hopping in trucking really worth it? And let me elaborate a little bit, because I understand and I know that trucking is one of the very rare fields that where you can leave one job and go to another one and give yourself a pay increase. You can boost your salary, going from certain job to job. But that's not always the case. So to be even more articulated or detailed about it, is job hopping and trucking really worth the quote unquote more money you think you're going to make? And when it comes to local trucking, such as food service, for example, is it worth losing your seniority over? So obviously this is a yes and no answer to this type of question. So I'll elaborate on my yes, for example. And I'm going to just use me for you guys as the reason why I would say yes at first. I started out with Trans Am, as I told y'all before, man, second chance company. And I was only making like 29 cents a mile. So at 29 cents a mile, turning 2,000, 2,500, 2,800 miles a week. I don't really remember what the mileage was. That was a while ago. But nevertheless, I know I never brought home $1,000. For my month time that I was there, every week I was like 800 and some change, give or take. And my child support wasn't even coming out yet. So I got an opportunity to go to a local company that was doing dry van and flatbed, hauling shingles, tire rubber, animal feed, wood, certain things of that nature. And it was a slight pay bump. For one, what made it better, I was home every night, off on weekends, just like I am now with US Foods. Although there was no benefits. I mean, it was an old-timey like mom and pop joint where they still gave out paper checks on Fridays. But I got like $200, $250 more a week doing that. But as he hired more drivers, the amount of loads that was being divvied up between us drivers became lesser and lesser. So it was time to, obviously, as we say, job hop and look for another gig. Hence came US Food. And, I don't have to go into a whole soliloquy about US Foods. Y'all already know, if you've been tuning into the channel, that I got a great schedule. I'm home every night, off on weekends, got great benefits, make a great income. Is it labor intensive? Absolutely. Do you have some frustrating days? Absolutely. There's days where have you ever thought about walking away? Absolutely. But such is life, and so it is with any other job. So as you can see, from Trans Am to the local company, hauling shingles and animal feed and things of that nature, to US Foods, my pay, my benefits, as well as my time at home got better. It increased. So to the question of, is it worth it job hopping and trucking? Yes, it is. If you are strategic and diligent in your job hopping. And what I mean is, if you spend time at a company, obviously I had to get my experience to come to US Foods, at least 6 months, right? For my division. So we know I at least had 6 months. So I stayed at both those jobs long enough to at least get 6 months or more of experience to come on to US Foods. So when you're looking for a new opportunity in trucking, you got to do your research and understand what the requirements are and not just what the pay scale is. So many of us drivers get caught up in just wanting to know, what are we going to gross a year? What are we going to gross a year? What are we going to gross a year? What's the home time? That we overlook all the other very important intricacies of the job itself, like experience, endorsements, time away from home, certain requirements like, will we have to touch freight? Will we not have to touch freight? If you're driving flatbed, do I got to talk? Do I not have to talk? All these things come into play when it comes to looking for a new opportunity. And you got guys out there, man, who will be OTR. And by the way, this is where I go into the part of where no, it's not worth it. You got guys that'll be OTR, man, or regional. Get out there their first week or two and say, hey, man, this ain't the life for me. I thought I could handle being out here. I need to find me a local gig. But I ain't putting no time in on the road. And don't want to go to a company that's super labor intensive that will hire somebody with no experience, such as Cisco or Coke or Pepsi, you know, things that require some touch freight. They don't want to do that, but they don't have experience to do anything else. So they job hop to another OTR company or regional company that they think is going to pay them even more. What happens out there, and of course, all my OTR regional guys, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just speaking on my short stint of experience. But what happens out there, man, is that say you pull up to a shipper or a receiver, and an OTR and even regional, man, aside from being safe, these mega carriers just want you to get to the location on time to make the delivery on time. Ship out on time to get to the next delivery to make it on time. You're the captain of your ship. You get to decide how long you want to drive each day. As long as you trip plan properly, you can kind of, you know, coast it as much as you need to, as much as you want to, as long as you trip plan properly. You get to decide how long you want to drive and what you want to do each day, as long as you get to where you need to be on time. Well, let's say you get to a shipper or a receiver, man, and you get there, you backed up to the dock, and they taking hours to either load you or unload you. And let's say Trans Am, for example, has a load set up for me to run, but I'm starting to run out of time as far as my ability to receive that load and get it to where it needs to be in a timely manner. So they decide to give it to the next closest driver who can handle it and get there on time. And now I got to lay over for more than 34 hours because I was hung up at a shipper. I made plans to go home that weekend. It was approved for me to go home that weekend, but now I'm not going to be able to go home because my layover is even longer and I'm still going to have to take a load to another destination. Not to mention that I've laid over, and you know the mantra in trucking, if the wheels ain't turning, you ain't earning. So now I haven't really made any money. So not only do I not get to go home, but I really don't want to go home because I haven't made any money for my family. You're going to want a job hop, right? You're going to want to. You're going to look for something more consistent because mega carriers' pay scales are pretty much set. You're going to make whatever the cents per mile is that they say that you're going to make. The benefits are going to be what they say they're going to be. Layover pay is going to be whatever the layover pay is going to be. It's set in stone. No matter if you've been there a month or 5 years. It is what it is with these mega carriers. But in local companies, you come down and you got an opportunity to make real great consistent money. The problem is when people come into local, they don't want to do no labor intensive work. They don't want to get their hands dirty. I've heard cats say, man, I got my CDLs to drive. I ain't get my CDLs to touch no freight. And these are new drivers, no experience under their belt, but want to make $100,000+ a year. So when you got your local guys, man, who come to somewhere like food service, seniority is a big thing. And cats don't like being on the extra board. I know a guy who has been with McLean, Cisco, Quirks, PFG, and US Foods, all in the span of a year and a half. Because at each one he said he didn't really make any money while he was there because he didn't work every day. But that's the thing about being in food service and local. you gotta pay your dues, which means you're gonna spend a little bit of time on the extra board. See, man, people job hop thinking the grass is green on the other side without watering their own grass. Stick with the plan. Sometimes we gotta do a job that we don't wanna do to get to where we wanna be. In the midst of you waiting it out, man, and getting your experience up, get your endorsements. If that's something that you really wanna do. If you wanna be able to haul doubles and triples one day, you wanna be able to be a tanker, get your endorsements. But until then, man, you gotta be able to water your own grass. When they go to pull your clearinghouse and they see that you've had 5 or 6 jobs in a year and a half, 2 years, man, it's gonna raise some red flags. They're gonna be like, this driver, man, they lack loyalty. They lack discipline to stick something out. Chances are they're not gonna hire you. So job hopping could be a very bad thing if you're not strategic and diligent in your planning of moving up to a better paying trucking gig. That's why you gotta water your own grass, man. You gotta stop being worried about what Taylor local truckers making over at US Foods and start paying your dues. And I ain't trying to be disrespectful to anybody, because I get it. Certain jobs and certain gigs ain't for everybody. OTR is not for me. I'm a family man. At all costs, I would avoid OTR. I would avoid regional. But that's me. Some people can handle that. Some people want that diesel in their blood. It's in their skin. And they can handle that. Their lifestyles and their household can handle that. I don't mind touching freight. I don't mind rolling these cases down that ramp every day, knowing that I get to go home and sleep in my bed with my wife, eat her cooking or eat my cooking, and spend time with my kids, and get up and do it again the next day. But it took for me to water my grass to get here. I diligently, patiently got the experience that I needed to come on over here to food service once I was granted the opportunity to come along. And that's what you gotta do, man. You can't get so caught up in just pay. Cause see, performance does matter when you're local as well. You get the opportunity to write your own check in a way. But you gotta thug it out and work your way up the seniority board. Seniority matters. And when you are stuck on the extra board for a little bit, hell, play the game. Be a company person for a second. My little time on the extra board, man, I called dispatch every time I was on extra board. Hey, what you got for me today? You got backhaul? You need me to show up to just, you know what I'm saying, sweep out some trailers? Need me to bring it empty to Charlotte? What you got for me? Because I didn't want to sit at home and not make no money. A lot of cats, man, they mad because they not making no money, but they don't want to get up in the morning and pick up the phone to see if dispatch or the company got something for you to do. Be willing to pay your dues, man. Water your own grass. If you're going to job hop, make it worth your time. Make it worthwhile. I hope y'all found some value in this content, man. I hope I was clear and concise and a little succinct with what I was saying, man. Money's out here to be made in trucking. I know we all want to get to that dream gig, but stop salivating over instant gratification and start thinking about delayed gratification a little bit. Take your time. If you got a decently paying gig, stay there. Water your grass until that grass is, tall enough for you to cut and move over to the next part of the yard. Do what you got to do, man, to get to where you want to be. But stop jumping ship thinking that it's going to get you where you want to be quicker, and you ain't even done no research. It's Taylor Local Trucker, y'all. Please hit the like button. Comment if you got some comments, which I hope y'all do, because I love the dialogue that we all share with each other, man. I really do. And also, very important, hit the subscribe button. And tell your friends, tell your classmates, tell your co-workers, whoever. Come visit the channel, share the channel with them, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate all y'all support, man. It's time to get on down the road. We out.